Hey everybody, this is Jonathan again with The Truth Revealed. Today I'm starting a new series. It's called Truth and Entertainment. Let's see what the word says. Be not conformed to this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind so you can prove what is the perfect will of God. Galatians 5:1. Stand therefore in the liberty in which God has set you free from the yoke of bondage. What yoke of bondage? Sin. The wages of sin is death, and sin, as you see, we've been made free from sin. Okay? What does this actually entertainment word means? Entertainment or control. That is entertainment here. So you can see entertainment equals inner control. And people are controlled by their minds. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And that's how we get into today's topic, Project Monarch or MK Ultra. Here's a picture of a monarch. This is a type of butterfly. Notice the color is orange, okay? Keep that in mind for later reference. So what actually is it? Okay, so what is MK Ultra? Well, MK Ultra is, started off with Project Paperclip, okay? As you see here. This was when they brought Nazi German scientists into and gave them American citizenship to control, to do more studies of how to make a perfect soldier. That's how it started with military people. They wanted to make a ideal soldier, an assassin, or in all different types of things. Okay, then this switched over to MK Ultra, which was headed up by the CIA primarily, but they work with other places like the military, NASA, and other things. And their main study became mind control, and not only for soldiers, for other places to put it in. Okay, how did they do this? The tactics that they used were breaking down the mind. How did they break down the mind? Using drugs, electroshock, and cattle probes. This is basically like a stun gun. Okay, and they would stick this in their genital parts and up their rectum as well. They would use fear or trauma. They horrific events in your life, put you in terror, lock you up in places, hang you upside down, all types of things like that. Okay, make you dissociated. Okay, make you think up is down and down is up. They mess with your mind. Okay, physical beatings and mental abuse. Financial squeeze. If they had put you up, they meaning demonically worshiping people, had gave you like high positions and stuff. They would bribe you and say, if you don't go along with what we're doing here, we'll take away the finances. They do it through rape, prostitution, sex, and incest. A lot of these people, especially the female parts of it, their fathers have sold them into it. They get payment. That's where the financial squeeze. That's what I talked about earlier. And when you get in it, they use this as a part to break you down. Okay, they use threats, who you're gonna tell if you do go and get help, and also hypnosis. That whole hanging you upside down, that's part of hypnosis too. And actually hypnosis. Okay. Other means of control, they have what they call handlers. This is the person that controls you. Okay, and they have enforcers. This is where the beating and that type of thing happen. If you get out of line, they have an enforcer to get you back in line. Then they have what they call watchers. These are the people that monitor you and make sure you're doing the right thing. And then you have other victims. A lot of times they pair these people up that are victims so they can keep each other in check. Okay, so how do they control them? Well, it's a program. Programs have an agenda. You have a set out thing of what you're going to do. Okay, so they use different things called triggers. It can be images, it can be words, events, hints. The butterfly. So when they see that butterfly, that reminds them monarch. That's a trigger for them. That's an image. Okay, so they can use words, even events. Okay, then they have some triggers. If they somebody try to help them, they have suicide triggers to kill themselves so they won't let out the secrets. They also impose alter egos, split personality. That's why you see all these people have different names. They're showing you the split personality, the alter egos. Sasha Fierce, Beyonce, that's the alter ego. That's a split personality. That's showing you the MK Ultra. Okay. drug culture, sex culture. That's how to keep them under control, keep them drugged up, keep them sexed up so your mind can't focus. It's so consumed with all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Bribes, blackballing, mammon. Again, with the threats, the bolstering, hypnosis. What is the whole purpose of this? It's all demonically influenced. It's about controlling you. It's about you having no control. It's about the devil having ultimate control and doing his ultimate plot to kill man because we took his place. He was kicked out of heaven, and humans, God chose us to take his place, and his ultimate goal is to kill all human race. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay? Now, let's look at the proof for all of this. I'm not going to read this. I have a lot of this stuff attached. I just want to show you a couple pictures. Then I'll get into some videos. This is a CIA. That's their seal. And I want you to see some. You probably can't see it, but I have a picture all tagged into the description. This is talking about entertainment, landscape, and branding entertainment. It talks about the different technologies they're creating. I want to read this. It says the core entertainment consuming demographic is young and adept in embracing new technologies and ways of thinking, and reaching these early adapters requires new insights and understanding. At the bottom here, it says, as technology, entertainment, and lifestyle brands search for new ways to reach their elusive core demographics. So how to reach the young people, this is how they're going to reach them. Project MK Ultra is here to translate the semiotics of this branded new world. So you see the new world order. This is demonically influenced. Okay, they're trying to control the world. Okay, and I'm gonna do a video on again on new NWO. You see here, CIA infiltrated 17 area groups, gave out LSD. So you see the drugs. Okay, suicide revealed. You see the suicide program in there. Okay. You see here, this is a young girl. I'll just kind of skip through it. This is a young female, 8 through 10 years old. I have a picture of this also. Dosed with heavy LSD, electroshock, and memory deprivation. They're wiping out their brain. Under code name MK Ultra of the early 60s, subject memory was erased and her brain is of that of a newborn baby. So they don't even remember it happened to them, okay? This is a cattle probe being put on an ambassador, okay? I want to switch and go to some video clips now, okay? To show you more proof of what I'm telling you, okay? Because this is not a conspiracy. So you see here, Operation Paperclip, what we talked about with the German scientists being brought over for experiment. Okay, here's Project MK Ultra. Let me zoom in some so you can see it a bit better. There we go. MK Ultra here. That is the picture of that I showed you. That's in the link. Here I want to show you Bill Clinton. Listen to what he has to say.
Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. While most of the tests were ethical by any standards, some were unethical, not only by today's standards, but by the standards of the time in which they were conducted. They failed both the test of our national values and the test of humanity. Informed consent means your doctor tells you the risk of the treatment you are about to undergo. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment. And that was wrong. So today, on behalf of another generation of American leaders and another generation of American citizens.
So you hear him saying they were the experiments was carried out in hospitals, schools, and bases of the Army. Here is a psych ward. being shown seeing MK Ultra project. Okay, this is in Montreal, Canada. Here is an article talking about some of the things that they use. Here they're talking about the electroshock right here, altered shocks, electric volts right here. You see that, and you see here waveforms being put in their head. I have this attached in for you to read in the description, so don't worry if you want to read in depthly. Drugs right there. You see the different programming, high voltage here, and other things. This is different things that they program. They call it alpha, beta, delta, and theta. Sounds like sororities and fraternities, right? You can read about it. This is like sex programming. This is just a regular programming. This is like an agent, but you can read that in the description on your own time. This is some more description of the effects and tactics that they did to control people. Okay. And this is all just proving what I showed you in the beginning. Okay. This, I want you to listen at this. This is a lady that was experienced MK Ultra. Listen at this.
Talk about the criminal environment you were living in, your father was selling to, and how he supplemented the family income.
My father supplemented the family income with the proceeds from child pornography, which was being sold through the local Michigan Mafia child pornography ring. It was well established and was being sanctioned by a criminal faction of the government that was targeting children like myself for mind control. The dissociative disorder that I suffered from was something that any child that was being used in pornography would have, and is a strong basis for mind control.
Do you think your parents, I mean, obviously later you were into a high-tech realm of programming. Do you think your parents had any idea that they were in fact programming you for something?
They did when my father sold me into MK Ultra. He was aware on all levels of what it was about and exactly what it was for, what it would entail. And he would say, even way back then, he'd say things like, spies are made, not born. And so he knew that I would have to be made. And he'd been taught how to raise me in the project according to conditioning me with childhood themes and continuing abuse and taking me to certain places according to the instructions of the political people that were directing his actions.
How did your life change once you became part?
I want to skip and show y'all something else further along in the video, okay? I got this in the description as well if you want to see the whole thing, which I encourage. Here we go.
NASA installations throughout the United States.
How has your father benefited from this program?
When my father was first approached by Gerald Ford, he was earning his living as a worm digger, and he had a 6th grade education, and he wasn't a real intelligent or ambitious type person, and he didn't have the kind of drive and self-esteem that would take him any further, except for the fact that by the time I was 13 and Senator Byrd became my owner in MK Ultra, Senator Byrd was head of U.S. Senate Appropriations for many, many years, and he decided where money would be appropriated. And when my father sold me into the project, he received lucrative military contracts that worked in a parts manufacturing camshafts for military vehicles, and ultimately made him extremely wealthy.
So you see that what I was talking about, the fathers sell the daughters in for money, okay? And they bribe them with money, and they say, if you don't cooperate, then I'm going to take your finances. But you saw that ritual abuse and pornography. So you see how they're using that. They're using it, you see, in pornography, in the politics, okay? She's going to reveal, I got another video later I'm going to show you of her. This is Cathy O'Brien. But I want you to listen at this, okay? To back up what I just said.
Ben Affleck admits that Hollywood is probably filled with CIA agents with a wide variety of producers and actors who are secretly intelligent assets. When asked about the issue by the London Guardian, he had this to say.
I think there are probably quite a few, yes. I think probably Hollywood is full of CIA agents, and we just don't know it. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to discover that, this was extremely common.
While some may say that he was joking, those people obviously don't know about the Hollywood military complex, which, by the way, is headed up by the CIA's Entertainment Liaison Office. I mean, just
see that? CIA connected, as you see CIA in the video was a part of this stuff. You see the psych ward in Good Burger. That's what it was showing. MK Ultra control. Look at here. Look at the eyes. Let me zoom back out. There we go. Look at the eyes. These shooters, look at their eyes. That's showing you MK Ultra. That's the assassin. Okay, that's the alpha programming. And here, Andrew Cooperson, he had an internship with the CIA, and then he rose up. I think it's Fox that he's in. Okay, he has no journalistic experience, no journal education, yet he's on the top of this big news. I don't know if it's Fox, CNN. I don't watch news. I don't watch that propaganda because I don't, like I said, entertainment. I don't want them to tame me, so I don't watch news. Okay, let's see another one. So as you see, CIA and the government has input in movies and entertainment. Let's see what they say.
Much bigger questions than you think. I work for the Central Intelligence Agency on the MK Ultra program. Are you familiar with it?
It was mind control. Manchurian candidate kind of stuff.
That's a vulgar generalization, but yes, you take an ordinary man and turn him into an assassin. That was our goal. Now, MK Ultra was terminated in 1973, but not the research that I continued. It involved hallucinogenic research, electroshock to induce vegetative states, terminal experiments in sensory deprivation, and resulting in death.
These things that you're talking about, you did them to Jerry.
MK Ultra was science sanctioned by the government.
So you see now in Hollywood, they call this hidden in plain sight. They tell you in the movies what they're doing. And I'm gonna do a later video showing how it's in music and films and stuff. But I just want you to see, this is, when you watching TV, they're not just out there just saying anything. That was from a movie called Conspiracy Theory. Listen at Roseanne Barr.
Well, I think that, this is a culture of fear, and nobody's more afraid than people in Hollywood.
No one's more afraid than people in Hollywood. Now let's see why.
They're afraid that they'll drop out of the top, they're afraid that they'll drop from the bottom of the pyramid, maybe to the middle of the pyramid.
Drop out of the pyramid. Notice what she chose to say, pyramid. As you saw my videos, you'll know the back of the dollar, the all seeing nine, demonic thing. You're falling out of the hierarchy. So they're bribing you with mammon, right? You won't be able to work. I gave you this nice lifestyle, so if you don't do what I say, you're not going to be there. I want to skip forward. Again, all the videos that I'm showing you are in the description, so you can look at it for yourself. Listen at this.
In mind, but that's the culture. It's a culture of fear for sure. And it's a big culture of mind control too. MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it.
MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. So you hear her saying this. This is Fritz Springmeier. Let's listen to a bit of him and what he has to say about it.
So you take someone like Britney Spears. I'm not sure how you would get her away from everything to start work with, and that would be the first step. And then after that, you have to start breaking down all these dissociative walls, and that takes time.
Right.
It's like, I live in Portland, Oregon, and so imagine that the mind of a person has been split into thousands of personalities. Now, and that's no exaggeration, the programmers really put a lot of work into all this. Now, imagine you're trying to get everybody in a city like Portland to get to know each other. on a really intimate basis.
Right.
It's the same problem. You know, you have two neighbors that really don't want to get to know each other.
That's right.
How do you get those two neighbors to get to know each other?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to start working, and they've built in some, the programmers, being sly little devils, have built in some conflicts. So like in the front of the system, and when I say front, these are the altars that are typically going to hold the body during regular hours. They may have one altar that hates their father and one that loves their father.
Right.
And so you've got this conflict here between these two altars. Now try getting those two to work together. So
this is what he was talking about. He's saying the trauma breaks the mind down. They split the brain into pieces that are not connected. And then that's how they infuse all these different triggers and stuff with the fragmented pieces of the mind. I want to show you some real life examples of this now, okay?
Introduce Marshall Mathers. Some of you may know him as Eminem, but he's going to join the Saturday night.
See that?
crew
He's
with our
out of
music
it.
intro
Look at him.
Starting next Saturday night. But folks, I want to take you to the world premiere of one of his new videos.
See, his
called
real name
Berserk.
is
Take a listen. It's
Marshall
at the top of the
Mathers. I'm
charts.
skipping.
So was that the great Rick Rubin who was helping produce that with you, Marshall, when you did that? Yes, sorry. Live TV. Live TV freaks me out a little bit.
Y'all saw that. He snapped out of it. He triggered him. He was out of it. And then watch.
Yes, sorry. Live TV.
He snapped out of it. That's the triggering. That's what I was telling you about, triggering. Okay? Let's watch some more. This is Nicki Ananka. Her stage name or alter, Nicki Minaj. Watch this.
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me, and he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage, so he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
That must be nice to have like an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every...
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
She asks him to leave, but he's here for a purpose. People conjured him up. So you see the demonic, Luciferian, satanic things. You see the demonic things coming in now. You see that black. You see her eyes. Let's skip forward.
What a verse.
Enter Roman.
So she's calling the demon to come inside of her.
What up?
What up, bro?
What up? What up?
Now listen at what the demon says through her.
What is the situation with Roman's revenge? Why your man Weezy's on point too? He's mad out there.
Yo, Roman's revenge is just about taking control. Saying Roman is here to stay. And anybody that ever doubted Roman is going down in a coffin.
So y'all see that. You see this. This is demonic stuff, okay? They fuse it with demonic spirits invoking these people. These are legions. That's what the Bible's talking about. Look at Anna Nicole
is
Smith.
Riley going to be your new makeup artist?
Huh?
Is Riley going to be your new makeup artist?
We're gonna use these first, buddy.
Have you found a new makeup artist?
I don't know. You can open your eyes. Use it over them. Not frozen. I wish you could go on the water slides. that you're pregnant. If you're pregnancy, your heart's bad, if you have a broken bone or a back condition.
Say that again. Say it again.
I think I'm having some gas trouble. Why aren't you pooting then, or does it hurt? It hurts, and I need some gas poot stuff so I can poot it out.
I'm gonna go further along the video. Watch this. What is she doing, y'all? She's in the mind control. You see that? And watch she snap out of it. Boom. What is that?
Yeah, watch the drill there.
Now watch this. This is a word trigger. Listen when she says Holy Ghost.
That's exactly how you have to have a certain amount of distance between the bodies
exactly.
in junior high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic schools, leave room for the Holy Ghost.
Boom.
Anyway, it's a lot
Saw
of
that?
It's memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today,
So look at Nicki Minaj again.
Alter egos, right?
Oh yes.
Roman is one, and then you
Roman is one. Barbie's one. She's like the little innocent girl. I have Martha, who's Roman's mother. She's like a crazy lady from London. And actually, she's gonna make her debut in the video that I just shot with Drake. It's for a song called Moment for Life.
Mhm.
So we just shot that video, and Martha, like you'll actually see Martha in the video. It's gonna be kind of weird.
Great. I can't wait to see her. All right, and it's good that he's with his mom. That Roman has his mom with him.
Yeah, I definitely have different personas and different attitudes.
Serena.
Psycho Serena. You don't want to meet her. She's on the court. She's at practice, and she's in the match. And she's awesome, and she's amazing. She's a great athlete. There's Summer. She helps me out a lot. Summer has a whole story. Summer has a whole story. Like if I have to write long letters, or if I have to do, different things, then Summer does.
She's talking about
She got
these
married. Now she got divorced.
personalities like they're actually people, but they're demons and spirits inside of her.
She gets on the phone and she's like, "Hello, I'm Summer. How are you?" When I'm doing my fashion, I get into this whole fashion moment and this whole fashion thing, whether I'm on HSN or just the perfect jegging, and they go really, really well with the Today Special. I'm thinking of designs where I'm drawing, or, I'm pulling out tears. And then the other girl that, the one that's really mean is Megan.
Wow. Look at Beyonce. Watch this. Watch she zones out. He probably just triggered her. Look, zoned out. That's MK Ultra for you guys. And I'm sure most of y'all have seen that, okay? So y'all seeing this in real life. This is how it really happens. This is talking about the handlers.
On track. That is the satanic agenda. So think about it, when you have
Look at
hundreds
it,
of
they're
thousands
marked.
and to the point of millions of cult multiples out there, many of them have broken down and have ended up in psych wards and
I
counseling
want to move
centers all
forward
across
and show
the
y'all
United
some
States,
more.
the UK and in Canada. We have, but they know they know who to
See the
when they
butterfly,
contact.
monarch.
And we've seen it where they've
Now this
called
is a
and
phone
played
trigger.
dial
Listen.
tones over the phone, and that is triggered out, or a phrase, or even a card sent in the mail, or timed triggers. When 11 o'clock hits, another personality would come up and take over the body and take the body out to a ritual site or to a handler.
And he's committed
So
suicide.
inside personalities, runners, and
Listen at this.
You're tall.
Do I have to be here for this?
Handler active imprint requires a direct line of sight, so she needs to be looking into those dreamy brown eyes when I wave my magic wand. This isn't about friendship, man. It's about trust. From this point on, Echo will always trust you without question or hesitation, no matter what the circumstance. You're about to become the most important person in her life. And take two.
Everything's going to be all right.
Now that you're here.
Do you trust me?
With my life. Do I know you?
Everything's going to be all right.
Now that you're here.
And he would contact by tones over the phone and everything else, but he would contact the little personality inside and want her to come forward so that she could bring the entire physical body over to this local hospital where he could, you know, get her there and do some work on her.
So y'all see that? Notice he said the handler. I'm looking for, oh, this is what I'm looking for. Watch this. This is going to blow your mind. Natalie Porter being programmed as a sex kitten. With Bill Clinton. You see that? With Al Gore. With Hillary Clinton.
Homosexual activity with very limited experience with him myself, whereas my experience was much more prevalent with Hillary Clinton, because Hillary is also bisexual, leaning more towards the homosexual end, and it was she who accessed my sex programming to fulfill her perversions.
Y'all heard that? Hillary Clinton is a bisexual. Look at this. There's more proof. This is Katie O'Brien. Hillary laying on the bed, and a lady comes in and say, hey, I got something that you're going to enjoy. So Bill goes and gets her is what it basically said. I'm going to skip forward. Hall's wife ordered me to take my clothes off while Hillary watched. She asked if she clean disease-free. Why is she asking that? This is from a book, okay? Move forward. They took no precautions of wearing condoms. So they were talking about raping, how these people get raped. Okay? Listen at this one. Hall's wife patted the bed, instructed me to show the mutilation. Hillary explained God and immediately performed oral sex on me. Aroused by the craving in my vagina, Hillary stood up quickly, peeled off something of the clothes, and eat me, oh God, eat me. Y'all see this? And this is the book that it's in. Okay? And all these videos are in the description. Okay, let's go back here. So you saw videos showing these things. Now I want to show you some pictures.